In this example, we have a treasure chest. Okay, a treasure chest contains 500 bronze coins, 300 silver coins, and 200 gold coins. And then Sam chooses 2 coins without replacement. So we need to calculate some probabilities. A tree diagram can be used to solve this problem, and I'll just show you shortly. So I have a treasure chest with 3 types of coins: bronze, silver, and gold. And Sam is picking coins. So he's picking coins, so he's going to pick the first coin, and then he's going to pick the second coin. So we can use a tree diagram to represent the outcomes of the first choice, and we can use the same tree diagram to represent the outcomes of the second choice, depending on the outcome of the first choice. So here's what it will look like. Because you have 3 choices each time. First time, bronze, silver, or gold. And then if he picks bronze the first time, he can pick bronze again, or he can pick silver, or he can pick gold. Now if he chose a silver coin the first time, he can pick bronze, silver, or gold. And if he chose gold the first time, for his second choice, he can pick bronze, silver, or gold. So this represents the outcomes of the first choice, and this represents, well, each of these represents the outcomes of the second choice. And what you have at the end of the branches, if you follow a branch, is an actual event, an overall event from after the end of his 2 choices. So just as a reminder of the problem description, you have a chest. I'm just going to represent a treasure chest with a box, and there are, so I would have loved to use set notation, but I won't. I'll just say for bronze coins, okay, this is what I'll do. Number of bronze coins is 500. The number of bronze coins is 500. The number of silver coins is 300. The number of gold coins is 200, which means that the total number of coins, so I'm saying the universal set, is 1000. So we now have to draw, we don't have to draw a tree diagram, but a tree diagram is going to help us solve the problem. So what I'm just going to do first is draw a complete tree diagram. Now the probability here is the probability of picking, remember, okay, this is the first choice, and then here we're considering the second choice. In each of these cases, the second choice. So first choice here, probability of picking a bronze coin. There are 500 bronze coins out of 1000, so it's 500 out of 1000. The probability here, the probability here is the probability of picking a silver coin the first time. That's 300 out of 1000. 300 over 1000. Here it's picking a gold coin the first time, and the probability is given by the total number of gold coins divided by total number of coins, 200 over 1000. Now we'll move on to the second choice. So probability here is the probability of picking a bronze coin, given that a bronze coin has already been chosen. And that simply is what? Well, since a bronze coin has been chosen, because we chose 500 bronze. The choice was out of 500 bronze coins initially. There are 499 left because one bronze coin has been chosen. So here what we have is 499. Out of how many coins are left? We had 1,000 in total. One was chosen without replacement, so we have 999 left. Remember, without replacement. So similarly, you see how easy it is to fill this diagram up, because for the second choice, because a bronze coin was chosen the first time, there's still 300 silver coins left out of 999 coins, because one coin has already been chosen, the bronze coin. Here, there's still 200 gold coins left out of the remaining 999. Here, so it's silver first, then bronze. So there are still 500 left out of the remaining 999 because a silver has been chosen. Here, there are 299 silver coins left because silver has already been chosen out of the remaining 999 coins. Here, there are 200 gold coins left out of the remaining 999 coins. Here, gold is chosen first, so there will be 500 bronze coins out of the remaining 999. Here, there will be 300 silver coins out of the remaining 999 coins, because out of the 1,100 has already been chosen, the gold one. Here, a gold coin has already been chosen, so there will be 199 gold coins left out of the remaining 999 coins. And now we're pretty much done with the tree diagram because we labeled all the probabilities. So now to the actual questions. It says, well, we know Sam chooses 2 coins. Now we need to find the probability that both coins are bronze. Okay. Both coins are bronze, meaning he picks bronze, so that's this first branch, and then he picks bronze again. So that's simply, the answer to that is, well, let's consider it this way. I think what I need to do first is say this is picking bronze the first time, silver the first time, gold the first time. Well, that's bronze the second time. Of course, these are all after the second choice. So we're looking for probability of picking bronze the first time and then bronze the second time. And we simply obtain that by multiplying the probabilities along the branches. So that's simply 500 over 1,000 times 499 over 999. So one thing I need you to understand is that by drawing the tree diagram and labeling all the probabilities, all the hard work has been done. Now just to find the probability of picking 2 bronze coins, all we had to do was multiply along the branches. So bronze, then bronze. Just multiply the probabilities. It's this simple. You use your calculator to work this out. You will get 499 divided by 1998. So that's the answer to part 1. In part 2, we need to find the probability that the chosen coins are both silver. So it's silver and silver. The probability is part 2. Silver and silver. So you simply multiply the probabilities. 300 over 1,000 times 299 over 999, which you can easily work out using your calculator, and that'll give you this. So that was really easy. For case 3, the probability that both coins are gold, you're getting a hang of this now. So that's gold and gold. So gold and gold, simply given by multiplying the probabilities along the branches. So this times that. 200 over 1,000 times 199 over 999, which is equal to 199 divided by 4,995. In part 4, we need to find the probability that both coins are of the same type. So just to make things clear, let's just list out all the events that make up the sample space. So the first event is bronze and bronze. Second event is bronze and silver. The third event is bronze and gold. So I'm just moving along the branches, bronze and gold. Fourth event, so I'm not going to, well, I'll try as much as possible to keep things close to the branches. Fourth event is, maybe I should use a different color to make things easier to understand. Fourth event is silver and bronze. Fifth event, silver and silver. I'm just moving along the branches. Sixth event is silver and gold. Seventh event is gold and bronze. The eighth event is gold and silver. The ninth event is gold and gold. So, the probability that the both coins chosen are of the same type. We already know that for the coins to be, for the choices to be of the same type, they're either bronze and bronze, silver and silver, and where's the last one? Gold and gold. So what we're looking for is the probability of this event or this or that. So probability of 1, 5, or 9. And another thing you need to be clear is that these 9 events are mutually exclusive. After picking 2 coins, there's no way you can have this and this. They are mutually exclusive. They can't coincide. So what we're looking for in case 4, the probability of the same coins, which is equal to the probability of event 1 plus 5 plus 9, and that's simply equal to probability of event 1. Sorry, that should be or probability of 1 plus probability of 5 plus probability of 9. Now from part 1 we worked out we've already worked out the probability of bronze and bronze. We've worked out the probability of silver and silver, and we've worked out the probability of gold and gold. So all we have to do is add them up. So it's 499 over 1998 plus 299 over 3330 plus 199 over 4995. A calculator will give you that adds up to 379 over 999. So that's the answer to part 4. So this is getting messy, but we're almost done. For part 5, we need to find out the probability that exactly one of the coins is gold. So I'll use red for this to tick. So we have our sample space with 9 events listed out. We're only interested in events where there's only one gold coin. So here's one. Okay, that's not red. But here's one gold coin. Here we have one gold coin. And then in each, here and here we have one gold coin. So there are 4 events. Because they are mutually exclusive, what we're interested in, the probability of event 3, event 4, event 6. I'll say that again. We're interested in the probability of event 3 or 6 or 7 or 8 occurring. Now each of these events are mutually exclusive. So the probability of, I'll write it down here, the probability of 3 or 6 or 7 or 8 is simply equal to the probability of event 3 plus the probability of event 6 plus the probability of event 7 plus the probability of event 8. Now how do you work out the probability of event 3? The probability of event 3, this is going to get very messy, but just try to pay attention. Probability of event 3 is obtained by multiplying along the branches corresponding to 3. So B1 times G2. And then once you multiply them together, you have the probability of event 3. For the probability of event 6, you multiply the probabilities along the branches. So S1 times G2. And that gives you the probability of 6, which is S1 and G2. So we have 6. Similarly, for 7, you do the same thing. G1 and B2. Multiply the probability of G1 by the probability of B2. And you have the probability of event 7. For the probability of event 8, you multiply the probability of G1 by the probability of S2, which is this one here, which should be here. And you have the probability of event 8. Then all you have to do is add them all up together, and that's your answer.